Yo guys, what's up, it's your boy Nickel here, and welcome to the behind the scenes of my brand new map, Unfair Log. So today we're going to explore all of the trolls inside the map, also how I made them, and all of the little funny mechanics and contraptions you can see. Now, before actually checking this out, make sure to, have already played the map, so you don't spoil it. You can find a link to the map in the description, but surprise, you can also find something else in the description. That's right, Locked. So if you guys didn't know, Locked is a 2D game that I developed a while ago, and I've been releasing it right now. So right now it just dropped, it was just released. And this little map right here was inspired from that game. I'm gonna play on the screen some clips of the gameplay of that little game. It's a little bit of a Sokoban puzzle game, but the twist of it is that you can create your own levels and publish them online for other people to play. You can go there are already some levels that have been published, but I really need your guys' help to publish more levels and make that a thrilling community. But anyway, enough of that. You can check all of that out and get more info on my Discord or in the description. Let's start the video. So okay, before starting, because usually all of these videos are really all over the place, I don't know what to show you guys. I'm going to show you the command room just to start. As always, I try to keep the same organization of commands, try to put them in the spawn chunks, and as you can see, they are all right here and they are all commented. I also do this because there is a guy that actually translates all of these maps into Minecraft Bedrock maps, which is a really crazy amount of work. And he's really amazing, you should check him out. I will remember to put that in the description. So you will probably in the future see a Minecraft Bedrock version of this map. And that is also why my command blocks are all in the same place, to make an easier job for him. Because it's really hard to convert between two different Minecraft versions. Okay, let's begin. Now, if I must be true to myself, I don't consider this map an unfair map, because there are no trolls, okay? Troll is something that happens unexpectedly, and something that behaves unexpectedly. But right here, everything behaves in the same exact way. I mean, if you grab a key, it's normal that you're gonna get a key. You go nearby a lock, it's normal that the lock is going to open. So there are really no trolls, because everything behaves just the way that you expect it to. I mean, this is not Minecraft Vanilla. Sure, all of these new mechanics are new and created by me, but they still work as expected. So even if this seems like an unfair map, I would just call it a showcase map for my for the game I've been developing, because it's inspired from this one. But I wouldn't really call it an unfair map, because as you can see, there are no trolls. The only troll that I can really think of is this first one, because as you can see now, you cannot cross. There are barriers right here, and you are forced to die. And that is a little bit unexpected, because you would think that you can still cross even if this is even if the lock is open, but no, it just forces you to die. Yeah, but other than that unexpected thing, everything else is pretty expected. And I'm not sure how people are gonna handle this. I mean, it might be a simpler unfair map, but a harder puzzle map. And we're gonna go through this right now. Okay, so the first mechanic in the map is perhaps collecting a key, which is a really simple thing to program. So basically all I do is check if the player is on pink wall, and if they are, it's gonna give them a key. Now, a funny thing that I did for the entirety of this map is that make sure that the command blocks only work if you are in adventure mode. So this means that you can play your map with your friends, give all of your friends spectator mode, and they will not be able to mess with the map at all. So if I go in adventure mode, as you can see, we're gonna be able to pick up the key. Now, for the lock part of the thing, it's actually a whole different story. I didn't actually program this smartly, so I need to do a different maneuver for every lock. So as you can see, while for the key, no matter where I place the key, I'm still gonna get it. For the lock, it's different. If I go here and I place another lock right here and do game mode adventure, as you can see, nothing is going to happen. I can only open the lock when I can only open this specific lock. And that is why if we go into the command blocks room, you can see there are all of these repeated command blocks for every lock. We have lock 3, lock 2, lock 1. And the reason why that was the case is because each lock has to behave just a little bit differently considering the position. So, for example, this one, I cannot make it behave just like this one, or else when I jump through it, it wouldn't register. So I booked up the range when this lock registers. So if you have a key, no matter how much you jump, you're still gonna get through it and die. So that is why there is a different procedure for every lock. But yeah, other than that, how does actually the locking mechanism work? And that is actually extremely simple. I just wanted, oh my gosh, I hate this little bug that every time I type in chat, it starts out with a T, which is not good. But anyway, this is how it works basically. So this is a solid block. It will check if I have a key in my inventory, and if I do, it will change this to air, and here there will be a falling block. So if you guys don't know, there is an entity that is called falling block. That can basically simulate blocks, and they, as you can see, they will look like a real block, but you can actually pass through them. And this entity is used in the game as falling sand. So basically, if I pick some sand right here, there, while the sand is falling, this is actually an entity, which is a falling block. And you can actually make different types of falling blocks. You can remove the gravity of those falling blocks, and they will look just like this. Okay, next up, let's see how I made the movable block. Now, the movable block is something I've been doing in a lot of videos. I already showcased in a bunch of videos how to make this, but I think all of those videos were for 1.12. And I think I made another movable block in Unfair Unspeakable, which is another map I created that had the same mechanic. So basically, the block is actually an entity. So inside the block there is an entity, and it will basically try to detect the player and see if the player is nearby and what direction the player is coming from. So as you can see right now, I'm checking the Z-axis and I'm checking for a player. And if I find that player, I'm going to actually move the block into the opposite direction. But I'm going to first check if the block I'm moving to is air, right here. Because if the block is not air, then I shouldn't do anything, because there is a wall I cannot pass. And then right here we have the commands that actually check if there is like a black wool. Or is it black wool? No, it's okay, yeah. There is this little black void, because if a movable block goes through this void, it should collapse. So as you can see, this will do exactly that. It will just check if underneath the block there is, okay, where is it? Okay, yes. It will just check if underneath the block there is some black glazed terracotta, and if there is, it's going to add this block collapse tag to the block. So then all of these command blocks can execute, because they are checking for a block collapse block. And this is basically how it works. It's pretty simple. Now, I'm doing the exact same thing for the ice block, but there are a couple differences. I really love how smooth the ice block turned out. Like, there are no bugs. It's really flawless. So I really love how that turned out. But, you know, we're gonna see that later. Alright, so this map is full of new contraptions and stuff that maybe the normal player is not used to. So that is why I made this little area where the player can just experiment and just move the blocks around and see what each of them do, with a relatively low chance of failing. But once you actually get through this section, you can actually go forward. And now the first trick I wanted to do is actually have a way for the player to think outside the box. Now, not in a really hard sense, because, you know, the map is not supposed to be that hard, but I want the player to think that they can always go back. So that is why I made this little contraption, I mean not contraption, but I made this little section where in order to proceed, you have to figure out that you need to get back in order to, you know, get this block right here. So the actual strat isn't to, you know, bring this block forward and try to keep going, because then you're not gonna have the right key. But the actual strat is to instead, okay, let me actually do this, is to instead bring this block back and, you know, fill that little void right there so you can get a red key. And I guess it might be a little bit unfair that I'm hiding the key underneath the block. This might be a little bit of a bad move, but at the same time, if I didn't hide the key, it would be way too obvious. So I just wanted to give this, you know, a chance for the player to figure out, and I just failed and got trolled in my own map. That's good. Anyway, once you get through this ridiculous section, you get through here, and now we have a brand new mechanic. It's the same block, but it's ice. And the player, the first time they come here, they have no idea what this block does. So I try to make this as not unfair as possible, while it's still being unfair. So if you move this block in either this direction or the other direction, like here, you will not fail. So it's really unlikely that a player will just do something random and fail. They will figure out the mechanic of this block, so they will figure out that this block can move multiple steps at a time, just like an ice block. And then they will just try to solve this little section right here. There is actually a way to fail, which is to make the block go in this direction. If you make the block go right here, then you failed, because after this there is no way of retrieving it. It will just get stuck right here. But if you don't do that, you're not gonna fail. So that's the only way you can fail the game in this section. I mean, unless you do something really dumb and just, you know, do something like this, and then you're completely stuck. But no one is that dumb to do that, right?
Oh, I got this. I don't got this.
Alright, but how does this ice block actually work? Because you may say, Nico, how did you program this? And it's actually pretty simple. So, while this block right here only moved when there was a player nearby it, this block right here instead will do the same detection and will check if there is a player nearby, but instead of moving when there is a player nearby, it's going to add a tag to itself when there is a player nearby. And then it will detect if the block has this tag, then it will move it. I think I do it right here. Yes. Where is it? I can find it. Yes, okay, if we have the tag Z, then we're going to move the block. And what this is going to do is it's going to move the block infinite amount of times. It's not going to move it only once, but it's going to keep moving it forever. But we do need to stop when we hit a wall. So that's why right here we are also doing a check, and we are checking if at any point we are nearby a wall, and if we are going to remove the tag. Alright, let's check out the next section. So after this, the brand new mechanic. Okay, well, I guess you have the clear inventory blocks, but this is not really something new. Okay, the portals. Okay, the portals are really fun. I actually really enjoyed programming the portals, because the way that I programmed them in Minecraft was actually kind of similar of the way I did it in Unity. Like when I created the actual game. So I really had fun making these because they went by really smooth. As you can see, you know, they behave just like you would think they behave. And they're not buggy at all. So as you can see, I'm not getting into the portal again now. I need to jump and get out of it in order to get back. So I really love how this turned out. And basically you can teleport from one point to the other, just like portals. So I think the code for it is... where is it? Okay, right here. So the portals are not blocks, but they're actually entities, because I need to remember their position, so they couldn't be blocks. And okay, it will just check if there is a player on top of that entity, and if there is, it will teleport it, okay? But where should it teleport it? Well, it will check for a random portal that has the same color, so a random entity that has the same tag, which is yellow portal in this case, and it will randomize it and it will teleport the player to that entity. But naturally, you have to teleport the player to a different portal, not the same one. So we're also going to check if the player, you know, the distance from the player to the portal. If the distance is really low, it means that you are teleporting to the same portal, so you shouldn't teleport to that one. So if I remove this limitation right here, I would have a chance to teleport to the same origin portal, which that is not what we want. Okay, and then we have this tag. So once you actually teleport the player will get a tag. And basically the way it works is, if you stand on any of the teleporter blocks after you've been teleported, you are going to still have this tag. And when you step down from the teleporter block, you are not going to have this tag anymore. So basically that's a way to check if you're just teleported from a portal or you didn't. And at the beginning right here, I'm going to initiate a teleportation only if the player doesn't have this tag. This way I'm not going to get stuck into an infinite loop, getting teleported from one portal to the other. As you can see, I will only get teleported to one portal and then I will stop. And then if I get out and lose the tag and go in again, I will get teleported to the other one. Now there is a problem with this concept, but it's not really a big deal because I'm not using it in the map. The problem is, if you have a lot of portals, one next to the other, this will actually not work, and you will have to use a different technique. So, oh my gosh, I had like one chance in 40 to get teleported to that one. Okay, oh, it happened again. Okay, that's concerning. But anyway, as you can see, I get teleported now, but if I actually move into this area, I'm not going to get teleported again, because I'm still standing on portal blocks. If I need to leave the portal area, and then only then I will be able to get teleported again. So, you know, that's a little bit of a bug, but I'm not really, you know, it's not really a problem because I don't have this kind of configuration in my maps, or in this map. Anyway, let's go through this next section. This is really simple. I'm not gonna show the commands for these ones. They're basically the same as the blue blocks, but we will actually check if they're under these triggers. So if all of the 3 blocks are under these little triggers, which are actually entities, then this lock will open. And okay, I'm going to explain though the concept of this little puzzle, because it's a little bit weird. So it used to be a little bit harder. I used to make the puzzle a little bit harder, but then I realized, okay, if the player fails this puzzle, they have to restart the entire map, and that is going to take a long time. So we're probably not going to do that. So basically, what I wanted them to do was to use the ice block and the normal block at the same time. So I wanted them to realize that the ice block is bad and it's going to create problems, because if we move the ice block in any direction, it's going to get stuck. So what I wanted them to realize is that either this or this block have at some point need at some point to go into this back rank. Naturally, once a block gets to this back rank, it cannot get back because it's stuck, as you can see. But since this block has to get to the back rank anyway, you know, what I wanted a player to realize was, okay, I can put a block here and I will not fail the section. The other thing I wanted the player to realize is, okay, if I move this block over here, I will fail the section. So what I actually need to do is move this here and then use this block as a wall in order to successfully put the ice block down here, and then go on my merry way. So this was the puzzle, and oh my gosh, what? I have no idea what that's coming from. Huh? Hello? How? What is happening? What is that block? Okay, I never seen that before. Hopefully it's not in the final version of the map. Hopefully I just broke something with the resource pack. I have no idea. Wait, how in the world is this dead? I'm so confused right now. It's probably Optifine doing some really weird stuff, and you know, this is a fun view. But anyways, let's just go forward. Let's just pretend. Okay, you know what? Let's just actually pretend that isn't there. Let's just do it. Okay, just do that. Oh my gosh. Okay, the next block is this little yellow trigger block, and basically what it will do is switch all of these blocks around. So as you can see, these ones are not workable and these ones are. And naturally, I'm using falling blocks, as always. So yeah, this is basically a switch, so it will detect if there is a block on top of it, and if there is, it will, you know, switch state, and then it will wait for the block to go, you know, to go away in order to reset, and then once the block goes again, it will switch state again. So it's a little bit of a switch state block. Okay, so what I really wanted the player to notice now is that, you know, many players are going to get stuck at this part, but what they actually need to realize is that they can actually get back. With a little bit of luck, of course. And now that I want to get back, it's never going to happen, probably. Yeah. Okay, let me get back. Okay, the thing that the players have to realize is they can actually get back. So as you can see, they can go here and actually get back to the beginning. And once they do, what they will realize is that there is actually a yellow block right here, and was there till the beginning of the map. So a lot of players already remember that. Some maybe have to go back in order to figure it out, but once this block is switched, you can actually go down here and get teleported all the way to the end. And then, oh, can I jump? Okay, and then you can get the blue key and win. And I think this was all to it, so there weren't many trolls, I guess. It was mostly a puzzle map. It's not really an unfair map, it only has the unfair map format. And I wanted to showcase all of these little features that are also present in the game that I've been developing, and you can actually download, link in the description. But yeah, I just figured out that one feature that I didn't really show was this little maze right here. So this is also a feature that is in the real game, and it's called numbered blocks. So you can step on these blocks only a certain number of times. And I must say, out of all of the features, these are probably the ones that took me most time to program in Minecraft. So we're gonna figure them out right now. So okay, the premise is simple. Basically, you can move, and as soon as you move, oh, I did a mess. Okay, but as soon as you move, the blocks will disappear and they will turn into void. So as you can see, I move, the block disappears, turns into void. And then I can move this block in order to try to get through. If this number is a 2, I can walk on the block twice, and as you can see, it will turn into a 1. And I failed. I wasn't supposed to do that. Or maybe can I recover? I don't know if I can recover, actually. This is a little bit of a cheaty strat. No, I cannot recover, because as you can see, this block is... no, I failed. Okay, but yeah, this is basically how it works. So you may say, okay, but command blocks wise, how did you program it? And this is the code for it, as you can see, numbered blocks. Okay, let's check it out. So basically, if a player is on top of this block, they will summon an entity. You may say, Nico, why are you summoning an entity if the player is on top of that block? Well, because we have to remember somehow that the player went on top of that block. So if a player stands on that kind of block, he will summon an entity, and that entity will have a tag, which is limited 1. And naturally, if the number is stepped on is 2, it will be limited 2, and the same thing, limited 3. So now we have a way of knowing if the player has stepped on a block or not. Alright, so you guys might say, Nico, why are you not removing the block immediately? So if the player stands on it, boom, I remove the block. Well, the reason for that is actually that's not how it works. A player has to stand on the block, and then it has to go away from the block, and only then it will turn. So as you can see, right here, I'm remembering that the player has stepped on that block by summoning an entity, and then I will check if there exists an entity, and the player is not nearby it. So as you can see right here, I'm checking if there exists an entity, and then I'm checking if a player is nearby that entity. And if the player is not nearby that entity, then I'm gonna scale the block down. If the block was a 2, it will become a 1. In this case, the block was a 1, so it will become a black void. And I'm doing this for all of the different steps. So as you can see now, this block is a 1, in fact, white concrete is a 1 block. Orange concrete is 2, and yeah, that's all. And then naturally I will kill the entity, because, you know, why keep random entities around? Anyway, I think this is all there is to it. Command blocks wise and mechanics wise, this was all the knowledge around the map and everything I wanted to show you guys. The only thing I really don't understand is this bug. I have no, like, if you guys have any idea what is causing this, I am really lost for words on this one. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this map and also this video. I'm trying to publish the map on different hostings, so naturally Minecraft maps, but also I'm publishing it on Sticky Piston, which actually offers free servers, where you can play my map when they actually upload it. So, you know, if you played this map already but maybe want to show it to your friends, you can use that server. The link is going to be in the description, and I just realized my description is going to be so large right now. But anyways, yeah, so you can check that out also in the description as well. I'm going to also try to make the map available for realms, but I'm not sure if the realms guys are actually going to accept a map like this. I really know that unfair maps are not kind of their thing, but I managed to snitch, 2 unfair maps in there, so maybe we can get a 3. I mean, third time's a charm, right? Anyway guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Please do check out my game. It was really amazing to make, and I really want more players to play it. Please, I'm desperate. And yeah, leave a like if you liked, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. See ya!